Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Last review for today until the chapters come out, like fairy tale and stuff. My romantic comedy, as wrong as I expected. This was a pretty fucked up episode. But then again, the title of the episode is it was her, his, and her. Teenage life is still fucked up. Now, pretty much this episode went down, was the conclusion of the cultural festival. Now, and this episode kind of pretty much just threw in your face the ugly truth that people who in high school, this is the way I look at it, people in high school who are the, popular kids and, they can get so many friends, they're scum of the earth. At least from what was transpiring in this episode. And people who like to stick to themselves, they're treated like shit by people who are popular. Yeah. At least that's what I saw of myself in this episode. That's what I felt that was going on in this episode. Now, next week's episode seems like it's going to be, which is probably the final episode. It's going to be a school, I think the athletics festival. Sports, And I think that's going to conclude the series of this show. But yeah, so yeah, I call it my youth romantic comedy as wrong as I expected. Episode 12. Basically, the beginning is just, we got hachiman talking to his sister, his sister's there, and she's like, hey, Oni-chan, that stuff. And she's like going off to other places. And what transpired in this episode, it actually pissed me off. Be perfectly honestly. It pissed me off. Because it made Hiki, hachiman, the villain. So it made Ikigaya the villain of this episode, which is bullshit. Because he's not. He was telling the truth here. But he's like, and I don't like hayama. No. He, to me, is he's just a typical jock. He's a typical douchebag jock. And in this my turn, I'm not going to make this into a rant about this, but, man, he's just a douchebag, that guy. I understand what he's trying to do, and like, everyone hates him now. What transpired in this episode, everybody now in the school hates him. Hates Hachiman. Because even when he was there, because what ends on happening, because after he was talking to his sister, he sees Yukino, and they're talking a few times, saying, he's doing his job, his work, and they're getting ready for the closing ceremony. And what happens is, they can't find Sasami. That's the girl who is the chairman of the committee of the cultural festival. And they couldn't find her because she has the results, of the awards they're going to give out and stuff. And they can't find her. And she has to close out the ceremony and everything. So they have to find a way to just kill some time before that happens. So they're going to go out and do a song or something. And then basically, Yukino gives Hachiman this job of just going and get her, find her, and bring her back. And then Yui's like, good luck, and then he leaves. And he's walking around, and he calls that guy, the one from the guy who played, what's his face in high school today? That guy. And he's talking to him and saying, where would you be if you're a loner? Where would you hide out? And he's telling him a few places in the school. And he finds a place that would be, I think it's on the roof. And he goes there, and he sees Sasami, and he's basically telling her, oh, the ceremony's going to start soon, you need to go down there and stuff, and basically, and she's being very snotty, Sasami, and all this other shit, and I'm like, God damn it, bitch, just go down there, and he's saying to himself that Hachiman's basically saying to himself, oh, she wants to hear what she wants me to basically tell her what she wants to hear, but I can't do that. Okay, and somebody comes in, and it's Hayama. Now, listen, Hayama, I have this only to say about him. He should not be friends with Hachiman. I don't know what part from what he was thinking that he thought he was friends with Hachiman, but what he did to Hachiman in this episode proves one thing. You don't know him. Okay? You don't know Hachiman. You don't know him as a friend. You don't know him. You don't know jack shit. Okay? You don't know jack shit. And those girls were with him. They were on the roof when Hachiman said this thing about, he was basically telling the truth. That's what he was doing. And during these episodes, you saw it. It was written on the walls. It was written on the walls, pure 100% fact, that Sasami was trying to be like Yukino, was trying to be like her, and be as big a success as she is, and he was just putting it out there. And then what does Yama do? Just shut up now. And he says, and then when they leave, and they ignore him and saying he's a douche, or, just ignore him, he's an idiot and stuff. And he leaves Yama, he tells him, I hate how you do things like that. I hate when you do something like that. How you do go about it. I'm like, watching that episode, I was like this. Because you know why? It's called Fuck You. No, fuck you, Ayama. Fuck you. You know why? Because you shouldn't be coming here and saying, in the beginning of this show, he shouldn't have called and said, oh, let's be friends. You shouldn't have said that. Because you don't know him. You don't know him. And then after that happened, the thing happened, and this was kind of, I just found this disgusting. But I knew this was going to happen because of the title. I mean, his, her, teenage life is fucked up. It's still fucked up. So I knew this was coming. Everyone is giving him dirty looks. Hayama, the Sasami, everybody's putting away chairs and shit. And even Yui. I'm like, and Yui later in this episode, she pissed me off. Because there's an after party. And she's like, we should go. I'm like, no. You need to stop. And they all leave, and everyone gives them dirty looks. And we see Yukino's older sister. Yeah, she was saying, oh, how he fucked up, and saying, oh, maybe you shouldn't be with Yukino with the way you did things. And then there was the teacher. Now, she she was basically saying that even though she's not going to praise him for what he did, and saying that regardless, you hurt yourself, but the people around you see how you are hurt, they're hurt as well. And she's like she's like being very, motherly at this part with him. And that's pretty much what happens. And then after that, we have, him going into the club room, meeting up Yukino, and says, how does it feel to be the, public enemy #1? Everyone hates you now and stuff. And he was just, he says, and she's mentioned, how, because the thing about Hachiman is that he brings out all the negativity. He puts all in front view of a person's weaknesses. And she was telling him, Yukino was telling him, she likes that about him. Then he was about to say something. I think he was going to say old friends, and she was saying no, but then she says that's before, but now she does know him. Which is the opposite to the other fuckers in this school, because they don't know shit about him. And then after that, we have Yui coming in. She's like, oh, let's go to the after party now. And Yukino and Hachiman are like, no, we have work to do. So get the fuck out of here. And she decides to stay with them. And he's thinking about how if he's a loser and everything, he doesn't mind it or something. I didn't get that, but... And that's pretty much how the episode ends. But... hey, this is high school. That's the way I look at it. This is high school. Popular kids are going to treat the kids who aren't popular horrible. So, Ayama, you're going to hell. Hey, that's the way I look at it, people. Take it or leave it. But Hayama, fuck you. Fuck you. What's his name? Let me look it up again, so I get his name right. Hayato Hayama. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Go with your trashy wannabe gangster friends that you were hanging out with. Fuck you. I mean, go fuck yourself. And anyone else who's with him, fuck you too. Hey, I'm throwing shots. I'm throwing shots. The teacher, though, the teacher part, I think, in this episode was important because it was to show that the whole reason she was just trying to change him, or not change him, just put him in this kind of a situation, and for Hachiman, and she was telling him that people still see you get hurt. But I think his mode is he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. And I guess it was Yui saw this as, it's fucked up, man. Just fucked up. That's the way I look at it. This whole episode was fucked up. Hey, his, her. Teenage life is still fucked up. Take it or leave it. But I think next week's going to be a little different, the episode. It's not going to be like this week's was. But next week's going to be a final episode, I believe. But I'm just wondering what is this going to amount to? What does this amount to Yukino? What does this amount to Hachiman and Yui? Because, it's just so ridiculous. It's it's like he's the loner. He's not meant to make friends. That's the way he is. That's the way he is. And you got Yui. Yui doesn't help. She doesn't help the situation by saying, "Oh, let's go with the party." Oh yeah, who's there? Ayama? Yeah. Why don't you go there and go fuck off, Yui, please. He's not doing that. Okay. Because and here's the thing I want to bring up. When he said that to Sasami, part of that was for Yukino. Yeah. Probably was for Yukino. So that's the way I look at it. But that's what I got for you guys. This is Bankai 922. Fuck Hayama, Hayato. He's a douchebag. He's a jock. Tell him to stop bleaching his hair. He's a blonde bimbo douchebag. But, yeah, that's all I got for you guys for that. I'll see how this ends next week. I feel we're going to end next week. Devil's Fire is going to end next week. This is going to end next week. Crime Edge is going to end next week. So a lot of endings next week as far as reviews are concerned. So that should be good. This should be good. We'll see how it goes down. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. This is Bankai 922. I will catch you guys later.